boy Tony the Kid. Across from me, as usual, Jason Days. How you doing today, Jason?
I'm good, man. You know what? I just want to point out, has anybody ever noticed with a Taylor Swift song, if you miss any lyrics, she'll repeat it 3 times over for you?
Absolutely. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times over.
Yeah, and matter of fact, if you miss the whole song, just wait 5 minutes. You'll hear it again.
And to my right over here, as usual, the wonderful, the beautiful, beloved Jay. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
You seem like you're in a very zen, calm, relaxed mood.
I kind of am.
What did you smoke before you came here?
Nothing. Just, I don't know. I feel like something's in the air.
Well, something's definitely in the air, and I think it was 2 United States stealth bombers.
That's never a good thing.
But what I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that tensions with North Korea, they're beginning to heat up. At as hot as they have been over the past couple years, things are at a melting point.
But you do realize we've had tensions with North Korea since the Korean War, correct?
Yeah, I do realize that, but this is different. This is a lot of activity that North Korea has been going through, testing a lot of missiles, testing their nuclear capability. They're taking it to a point where China's beginning to take notice. The United States obviously has taken notice. Russia's taken notice. And Japan has taken notice. And definitely South Korea is checking that stuff out as well. But it doesn't help when the stealth bombers fly over South Korea and drop test bombs. So now they've caught the attention of North Korea even more so than they used to have. And now tensions are hot.
Do we still have control of South Korea?
We still are allies with South Korea.
Allies or control?
I wouldn't call it control. I think we're allies with South Korea. We give them a lot of aid. Let's put it that way.
Well, we give everybody a lot of aid, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, see, the thing is I was hoping that the last quack job that died, I was hoping that we can get somebody, that's sane leading that country. But apparently, and I mean North Korea, but apparently this dude's son is a whack job himself. And, he's hanging out with Dennis Rodman. Yeah, right?
Isn't that always the case?
Well, it definitely takes a unique person to hang out with Dennis Rodman.
Well, that was the biggest news a couple weeks ago, that Dennis Rodman went over there and visited North Korea to watch basketball with this leader. I think his name is Kim Jong-un. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Kim Jong-un. And right now,
if you find a missile in your house in the morning, you know you didn't pronounce it right.
Okay, what's the situation though? I know that we've always had this, grief with North Korea, but why now? Why so many years later?
Well, as Jason was saying, there's always been high tensions, but now recently they've been able to enrich uranium. They're testing nuclear capability, and that's a huge no-no in the world order of the way things are in the United States.
Convention,
the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, but my point is okay, yeah, we had this issue with them so many years ago. It's at what point are they going to stop obsessing over that? It's been how long? And now we finally have the perfect solution, and our nuclear weapons are pointed straight towards you for something that happened freaking ages ago.
And well, it's the ongoing tensions. It's never been good. It's never been healthy. They've never been a fan of South Korea. And right now, he's actually sent a press release that says he wants to settle accounts with the U.S. imperialists. And
what does that mean?
That means that he might have some missiles pointed our way, and I just think it's scary because what they're discussing now is called a hot war. Anybody have any idea what a hot war is?
I would assume the opposite of a Cold War, where there's actually arms pointed and fired and so forth.
Exactly, and it's arms in the sense of nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare. So it's a pretty scary situation.
What is that going to do for North Korea? They wipe us out. What happens then?
Well,
what do they do?
I don't think they're going to be able to wipe us out. But I don't know, and I don't know what this guy's motive. His father was a lunatic, and apparently he's following suit, and he's just as crazy, hanging out with Dennis Rodman, watching basketball games, and threatening the United States. It's a scary situation when you have somebody that off their rocker having their finger on the button. It is a scary situation, and it's something that I think we all need to prepare for in the United States. And I think
how do we know this isn't just like a cry wolf?
We don't.
Well, something I'm actually going to point out is how art imitates life. If you look at a couple of movies that have been released,
I agree with that.
Red Dawn, the remake of Red Dawn was one. Back when we were younger, it was the Russians version with Patrick Swayze. Now it's the Koreans. Olympus Has Fallen. is another one. If I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, I haven't even watched it myself, but it is North Korea that takes control of the White House.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what we're looking at now, and that's the country that we've had tensions with throughout the year. Never really took that super serious.
We have tensions with a lot of countries.
You know what I thought of on the way in, thinking of these tensions that are going on back then during the Korean War? Had we just continued and not stopped at what's the famous parallel?
38 parallel.
The 38th parallel. If we had just continued, we wouldn't be going through this right now. And that mistake back in the 50s may ultimately come back and bite us in the ass today.
You realize we actually lost that war, which is how we got the 38 parallel, which I could be wrong. It could be the 36 parallel, but I think it's the 38.
I don't think that was a loss.
It damn sure wasn't a win.
We're going to have to go back. We just stopped. We're going to have to go back and look at the record books. The Korean War was actually wasn't even a war. It was a conflict. Ultimately, ceasefire there was never really an end. It technically is still going on. It makes you wonder, had they taken care of business in the 50s, would we be going through these tensions today?
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why so much longer, after everything had already happened? Like, why still now is there this grievance towards the United States? I understand, we think we own a lot of things and, and have rights to certain, situations. But like I said, why was it never terminated? Like, why so many years later are they still having these grievances towards us? They still want to, cause this huge war with
because
us.
you will
Why?
always have tyrants and you will always have insane people. And as for the United States, when you're a superpower in the world and you're the beacon of liberty and freedom, I think you have to find yourself, I don't want to say you're policing the world, but you have to have some kind of involvement in world affairs. You have to when you're a superpower like the United States is.
You do. A lot of people actually don't realize that Joseph Stalin, the leader of Russia during World War II, he actually signed a peace treaty with Hitler. And he was not a part of the Super Axis until Hitler voided that treaty by invading Russia.
Exactly. And
So
there's always
he was a
an
tyrant
insane
too.
lunatic. Yeah, there's always some crazy person, and
Right.
that's unfortunately a reality of the world that we live in. But hopefully things will pan out the right way and not go the wrong way. And this lunatic can keep watching basketball games with Rodman as long as that can keep him at bay. It's amazing that our diplomat to North Korea is Dennis Rodman.
Wow.
That is a scary thought.
That is a very scary
The
thought.
On that
worm
thought.
in a wormhole.
So you're listening to Point Taken with Tony the Kid, Jason Days, and my main girl who's chilling out today, Beloved J.
I hit the wall, I got back up and